you know, it
shower.
was a good move. Yeah.
That's where you're gonna forget your.
I've said it a couple of times. Sometimes you need
So
an
I would fully
outside
consider
pair of
that,
eyes, you know.
like a monthly international plan that you can have. That way, it's like, let's say it's $50, it's still cheaper than 100.
You got it. Save 50%, you're right. You gotta do the reset your password too.
Yeah, but that's what we were just saying. They're not on TV though.
They're on what, Peacock?
Yeah, you get that?
If it doesn't let you in,
Yeah, yeah.
then you go to, it sends you a link to your email.
Yeah?
A red button that'll say reset your password. And I sort of just,
Did they let you? And then when you
I took it and I just tweaked the number at the end.
it might default you in, and they have the Stitcher app on your phone too.
There you go.
I'll have to tell my wife. She's.
Yeah.
I'm going to call the pre-council meeting for the city of Ashtabula to order. Today is Monday, April 20th, 2026. If we can have a roll call, please.
Mr. Roskovich,
Here.
Mr. Simeone,
Here.
Mrs. Foglio,
Here.
Mr. Guerrero,
Here.
Ms. Holman,
Present.
Mrs. Mills,
Here.
Mrs. DiGiacomo,
Here.
Mr. Timonier,
Here.
Ms. Cooper. Here. Mr. Khan.
Here.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Milberg. And we have no pre-meetings or visitors or guests, so we're ready to go on to the president's report, which there really hasn't been much going on. So I think we're good. This is our second April meeting already, so wow, it's going by fast. So we will go on with our committee or our administrative team reports. Mr. Timonier?
Thank you, Mr. President. Few ordinances to ask for tonight. First, no, we just coming through it, but already have to think about next winter, so I'd like an ordinance to participate in the ODOT road salt contracts, which will be awarded in 2026. As most of you know, the bids came in for the Collins Boulevard project. There was only one bidder, and that bid was quite a bit more than what the estimate was. We have been working with ODOT on that project to find additional funding, and we were able to secure additional funding in our small cities grant that we received. Having said that, we still need to put in an additional $48,167.50 towards that project. So I'll be requesting additional funds be allocated towards that project. We have approximately $77,000 into it. When it's all said and done, it's going to be about a $1.9 million project. That's what the bid came in at. Next, the new truck that we purchased for water pollution, they would like to purchase a snow package for it. That is going to be from Best Truck Equipment for $13,663.63.
Hey, could I go back to the Collins Boulevard?
Yes.
I know you've told me before. Are they taking up all the cement
Yes.
and then blacktopping? They're
Correct.
going to put down blacktop
That's
instead?
correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Mhm.
I know you told us before, but.
Yep,
all right,
that's
Thank
correct.
you.
Mr.
Next-
Manager,
Yes.
while we're on the Collins, can I ask you, I was checking, okay, this is from funds 212, 209, and 219. So 212 is paving, 209, is that auto license tax?
Correct, and then the 219 is gas tax.
Okay,
Doesn't mean that we have to take it all out of those, but I put them all in there so that we can jockey things around and make sure we
Okay.
have enough money to cover everything.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, was there any, let's see, we did the best equipment. Next would be the OPWC Michigan Avenue Sanitary Improvement Project. Severino Construction was the lowest bid on that, so I'd like to enter a contract with that for $199,786, and that'll come from the Water Pollution Control Fund. Do remember, this is an OPWC project, so there's a combination of grant, there's a combination of loan, and then there's a combination of our funds into it. We're getting ready to start everything for the Hulbert Avenue South reconstruction project. So I would like an ordinance to enter into a contract with GPD for engineering, design, and construction administration of the Hulbert Avenue South reconstruction project in the amount not to exceed $61,200. This will come out of Fund 290. Remember, we did get a critical infrastructure grant. So portions of this bill will be paid from that. We did have a little bit of local commitment on that, but not much.
Mr. Manager?
Yes.
Mr. President, Mr. Manager, on the Hulbert Avenue, are we taking up the bricks and replacing it with brick?
Correct.
Or-
Yes.
wow.
Yes. So same as we did
Is
on
on the
Hulbert
north
North, we're
side.
doing on the south.
Oh, that'll be
Yes.
nice. Okay.
Mr. Manager, can I ask you a question? So I saw it says the existing Medina stone will be salvaged and reused in the construction of the crosswalk.
Yes, so that's what we did on the other side too.
Do they have any excess besides just the crosswalk?
There
or-
would be, but a lot of what we took out last year just crumbled once it
Okay.
came out.
Because I was kind of looking and it
Not
was
last year, last
interesting, that
project.
doesn't freeze, it doesn't, supposedly that Medina stone, it's really durable.
It's been,
Well, I mean, that side got us,
yeah.
that side got us, I don't know how many years,
Oh,
so.
no, I don't know, it said, went back
there a
from like
long time.
1837, they started using this Medina, I don't know, I love to look up stuff, but I was like, if we have extra, what are we gonna do with it, but,
We didn't have much, the contractor keeps all the debris from it when it's all said and done. I don't think they were able to use anything
I thought
when
that
we
was
did the
kinda
last
neat.
project.
all right, thanks.
Next, this was our allocation grant. We'd like to enter into an ordinance with Lake County Landscaping and Supply for the West Avenue Sidewalk Project in an amount not to exceed $164,300.35. And that will come out of Funds 290 and 412. And again, we did get a grant for a portion of this, and then we do have local monies that we have to put in there, and that's why 412 is listed as one of the funds. We would like a resolution of support from council for a submission of the State of Ohio Brownfield Remediation Program Fund, a remediation grant that the City Port Authority is going to apply for Tannery Hill. And then,
Does the Port, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Does the Port Authority own Tannery Hill?
yes, they do.
They own that
Yep.
property?
And so they'll be the applicant, and they will administer the grant for the property if it's received. But we, obviously, I think we should do a letter of support for the project.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mr. Manager, do we have like a dollar figure of maybe
No,
what
so
they
this is-
could get, or,
Oh, of what they could get in the brownfield money? I do not. I
okay,
do not know what they can at this point. I don't know if they have to redo a phase 1 and 2. I know we've already had those studies done on that property, but that would all be part of the request.
okay.
So I will get you more details on that as they apply for it. I think it's due by the beginning of March, so it's coming up quick.
Beginning of March.
I'm sorry, May. And lastly, I know we've talked about this a few times, but we need to repower the police boat that we have. This is going to be done at Roaming Rock Marina in an amount not to exceed $48,527.50, and that'll come out of Fund 412. We are still trying to work with Operation Stone Garden to see if some of this money can be funded. Our staff did have a good meeting with Border Patrol talking about some different issues, so we're hopeful that as this progresses, we'll be able to get reimbursed some of the funds for that.
Mr. Manager, these are the two new engines that we need and all the repair work.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
It's got to be done. I mean,
Yep.
we have to protect.
Mr. President,
Yes.
can I ask the city manager a couple questions?
Oh, yeah, go right ahead.
I don't know, I hate to keep harping on this, but that situation on Harbor Avenue is becoming unattainable. I got another email again today that I'll share with you on both sides of the road in between 21st and 22nd. It's just, it's almost unpassable now unless you drive right down the middle of the road. And it's a huge, if people don't know that, if they drive by there at night, someone's gonna lose a tire. I mean, it's really bad. And then, of course, and I got a request from a resident on West Fifth Street. And she wants to know if we could possibly paint speed limit signs on the road until the flashing lights come in. Like you see directional arrows on the road. She wants to know if we can paint speed limit warning signs on the road.
On which road?
West Fifth.
Bridge Street.
Yeah.
Does that have to go through the historic review board?
I would- Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd have to be the right colors. Right.
I
I know.
I don't know if I've ever seen speed limits painted on the road.
I don't think I ever have either, but I've definitely seen directional markers on, you know,
yeah.
like
Been
on the
directional
interstate where,
markers,
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely feasible. I mean,
We're getting a
I've
sign
seen it-
though, right?
I've seen it on
We are-
highways.
Yes, we are going to get, the your speed type signs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting
yeah,
that.
no, she just requested a temporary thing, but whatever you think is best. And the other last thing was Harbor and 20 for the traffic light, what is the status on that, the flasher?
At Mary Street Hill and Harbor
Yeah.
Avenue. The contracts have all been signed, and we're just waiting for the contractor to put it back up. And I know there's an insurance claim in that, for that as well, so.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manager.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I have some residents' concerns that they've brought up. So when we fill a pothole, who checks to make sure that it was properly filled?
Like each individual pothole, when the guys are out putting Colmac in them?
This resident said that they were very prompt, you know, she reported it, people were prompt about getting there, but it was not completely filled. It was only half filled. And I said I would ask at council.
Well, we don't have somebody following around our staff to recheck when they're out filling potholes. So it would just be the crew.
So then she should just reach back to her council person and let her know?
Well, they could reach out to Public Works and we can, or my office, and we can head back out and take a look, yeah.
Okay. And West 54th, I know I'm a broken record on this, but on that street from Adams to the railroad tracks, there seems to be more potholes than there are streets. Is there a point where we say, okay, we're using this much to fill a pothole? You know, when would we select that street to be redone?
Well, we go through, as we do every year, when I take recommendations from council, and then we look at the money that we have, and we pick the roads. So I don't recall which roads were submitted this year.
Well, that was one of them.
Okay.
That was one of them. So I was asked that, and I said I would ask at council. And then the last question, is the asphalt plant open?
Yes, so we have started using hot mix,
Okay.
and then it's selective now, so it's when they're running it.
So when are they running it full-time?
It's when they have enough orders to run the plant. So we call in
Okay.
and say, we're gonna
Oh,
need X
well,
amount
then
of tons.
I could probably give you enough. I'll give you enough next week. You're
Well, our
welcome.
guys have been out a lot, and as most of you have seen too, a lot of the complaints that you got over the winter time for cuts in the roads, Koski Construction has been out doing the aqua fills. So as we have been saying since November, these are not the permanent repairs. Now the permanent repairs are being made to those cuts since the plant is open.
So in regards to Adams Avenue, because those cuts occur like every 2 feet, and
We're
that road.
we're discussing with both Aqua and the gas company. Both of them had jobs
Okay,
out there.
because I get
about what we're
asked
gonna do.
about that all the time as well.
But those what are out there right now are also temporary.
Oh, I know
cuts, yeah.
that, I know that, I just,
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I couldn't help but noticing that on West 19th, where the temporary patches are for the water line, there's a couple of pretty good-sized craters.
Yeah, West 19th will be repaved this year. Yeah.
I don't know if those are gonna be able to wait for the repaving, though. I mean,
Okay.
there's some pretty good size. And it was the actual cement part that,
Oh, I did see those
that
today.
broke up.
Yes,
It was-
yes, I did see those today. Those were reported.
I noticed they're like, it's sort of like a mixed bag kind of thing, because like on Walnut Boulevard, you know, we had so many houses down by where the old high school property was, and then there's the cut down by Joe Varquette's house and this or that, so that is affecting the whole road. And now I notice like West 10th Street, you know, is really in bad shape too. And a lot of it, you know, they come in, all the new houses are going up. They're building 3 more now, and, which is good. But as they, you know, cut into the road and everything, then that, you know, compromises the whole road kind of thing. So, we might have to, I don't know, like you said, the water company is usually pretty good about patching their things, but like on West 10th Street, you're almost wondering, maybe they need to just do the whole road, kind of thing.
And when they have that many of them, we have those discussions with them.
Okay, yeah, I figured you would, yeah, I just, like I said, but, yeah, because they're building 2 more on, or 1 more on 10th and 2 on Ohio, I think, so, you know, it's gonna, yeah, that's good that you have that, discussions with the water company and that relationship. Is there anything else for the manager?
Mr. President, I had a couple calls when, if you could go over the process, when Aqua comes and they do a cut, or maybe they have their equipment sitting there and they've, you know, so it's like some grass is damaged and ruts and that. And I know they don't get back right away, but kind of what is the process? They'll end up, do they have a timeline or?
That's all in their contracts. We're not privy to their contracts, but once a project is done, they do tend to, whether it's in the road or on the tree lawns, they tend to let that settle first before they come back and do the final landscaping restorations. So it could be a couple weeks, could be, I mean, and then of course it's weather dependent.
Okay. Thank you, because I know sometimes it doesn't seem like they come back right away, but I know they'll do.
Usually don't, yeah.
With planting grass, whether it's in the spring or whatever, or the fall, because, so that it rains, so that you don't, because you can't water, you know what I mean, in the summer. Okay. It just kind of makes it look messy for a while. I know it's, thank you.
Okay, is there anything else for the manager? And I believe all these items are for passage tonight
Yes.
on the agenda, so they're time sensitive. Okay, thank you. Mr. Khan, do you have something for us?
Thank you, Mr. President. We don't have anything for tonight.
No? Mr. Khan, could you tell us, because I keep forgetting to ask, council got emails from somebody.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, it's true? Oh, so we have to fill out some kind of, something from the state auditor?
Oh, yes. That's a legit request.
That's a legit request, Mr.? So there's some kind of form we have to go in there and fill out, huh? Okay, all right, good,
And-
thank you.
And we can help you if you have questions.
Okay. Thank you very much, yeah, we probably will. Okay. Anything else for the finance director? City solicitor?
I have nothing, Mr. President.
Have nothing. She says
With a
happily.
smile.
And Ms. Milberg, do you have anything for us?
I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Okay, well, that was good. Boy, we're sailing along tonight. Community development, economic development?
Our next meeting is May
15th, is it?
Oh, why does it say that? No, I went the wrong.
I wanna
Sixth,
say May 6th.
sorry.
Is May 6th, and we're going to have America's 250 group in as our guest.
Thank you. Finance and personnel?
Yes, I have a report. I'll try and make it brief. Yeah, we do. We had a meeting last Friday, and our finance director started out with, he provided a report, an excellent report, as I may say. The first quarter of 2026 showed unprecedented income tax collection results, with the city collecting more than in any previous year's first quarter combined. The Income Tax Division successfully completed the tax season with extended hours on Saturday, collecting over $200,000 in the reporting week alone. Mr. Khan emphasizes that constituents were very satisfied with the outstanding customer service provided this year. He also noted that filings received through email, mail, and drop-offs were received and processed before April 15th would not incur late filing penalties. The department is planning to mail the first 200 letters to non-filing accounts, and the finance director distributed a frequently asked questions list, which is posted on the city's website, so you can go there and if your question is any there, you can have them answered instead of using the telephone. And Mr. Khan expressed with confidence that all goals will be met by the end of the fiscal year, noting that charts and statistics show only positive developments and that the Income Tax Division is in excellent shape. We had a little snafu with the JED, the Joint Economic Development District, income tax revenue. Mr. Khan acknowledged that some instability in the revenue curves that will be addressed after completing processing all of the outstanding income tax filings. The department is researching the status of all businesses subject to income tax, having consulted with the city solicitor's office about resolutions that may be that businesses may be grandfathered that were established before the JED development, and they will be exempt from income tax requirements. The finance director provided a sanitation update for Ward 1 and Ward 2. The finance department is in the process of updating its database of trash and recycling toters and has found inaccurate records. So some city residents will be receiving a letter, and they will have to put their tote numbers on the letter and send it back so that they can get some accurate billing going. The statement of cash position report reflects negative balances in some funds, which is attributed to the delay in revenue, which is expected. The health commissioner is investigating what factors are driving the increased overtime volume compared to the previous year in the health department. For Public Works, the department is operating in long-term savings mode for motor maintenance since they now service our police department vehicles in-house. This includes testing all vehicles electronically. We acquired some new diagnostic equipment to do that, so we can now diagnose our own cars instead of paying almost $100 for that to be done. The city manager provided updates on personnel movements, ongoing projects, and upcoming council items. He reported significant staffing changes in sanitation and public works due to additional positions hired on the sewer jet operation, which makes everybody switch and go to different departments. City manager provided updates on water pollution, noting that the plans are progressing for major infrastructure work that may require property acquisition to relocate the harbor pump station. Point work bidding is targeted for year-end, while pump station reconfiguration involving new lines under the river will require over a year of permitting and will be a substantial financial investment for the city, which we knew this was coming. Our next meeting is May 15th.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Fogler. Public Works, Utilities, and Cables in School.
Our next meeting is Tuesday, April 28th, here at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you, Mrs. Mills. And Safety Forces.
Yes, Mr. President, I do have a report. Chief Stell from the police department was the first person to talk, and he said that the March statistics and the overall numbers had not changed significantly. Calls for service were somewhat high for this time of year, which we attributed to some unusual warm weather for March. And we have some new, I don't want to say overzealous, but very cautious new patrolmen that are, doing a very good job as they start out. There you go. Enthusiastic would be the proper term. There was also discussions about Safety Town, which is going to be through June 8th through the 19th. It'll feature 4 sessions across 2 weeks with both morning and afternoon options. Flyers are at the schools for that, for kids that want to participate. The department is currently down 2 officers. They did make a candidate from the academy may be coming on, we're not exactly sure, but the job was offered. And he said there was no serious issues with the equipment. We do have the 3 newer squad cars coming that are going to significantly improve the department's fleet stability. President Roskovich was present at that meeting. He asked Chief Stell about the resource officers, which we do have 2 at the elementary campus and 1 at the university. And then officer that covers the Mother Sorrow School is from the Sheriff's Department. That's not ours. The fire department, the chief was not there, but Mr. Ferrello gave his presentation. Everything seems to be quite in order there. They are considering some new EKG monitors and have a bid out for this equipment. They currently are fully staffed, but they are going to have a exam because they do have 2 people that are probably going to retire this year. And they are also having he highlighted recent arson awareness art program conducted at local elementary schools in collaboration with 3 other fire departments. The program focused on lithium battery safety, reflecting current fire prevention priorities, and it attracted 105 entries for a contest they were having. And the winners will receive monetary awards, and they will be awarded May 4th at 3:30 at Huron Elementary School. So maybe some of our kids will win some monetary awards. And then the city manager reported that the next Safety Forces meeting, we're going to have a presentation from the Drug Task Force regarding the 2025 statistics. And that will be in the chief's report at the next meeting, and representatives from the Detective Bureau and the task force will be attending. And for the solicitor's report, it's just that they have an extremely busy docket over there with a lot of jury trials and a pretty heavy caseload. And then we adjourned.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Guerrero. Could I ask the chief, have we done any more golf cart inspections?
I have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
I believe so, but I don't know how many.
All right, because I just want to make sure people understand, before we had golf carts going around town, but now that we have an ordinance and rules governing them, they need to be inspected and okayed to be legal and so forth. So if you rode your golf cart around for years, and that's good, but now we want you to come and make sure you have them inspected and okayed. Okay, thank you, Chief.
Mr. President,
Yes.
what's the consequence for not having the golf cart inspected?
Mr. President, if I might, then you would be operating a golf cart in violation of state law and city ordinances, and you would be given a ticket. So, a fine.
Yeah, a fine, a citation, and then a fine. So, okay. Thank you. Okay, all right, the Planning Commission meeting was canceled. The Historic Preservation Committee meeting, they did meet. They had a request for several buildings, request for painting. And, you know, and because of the historical district, they used the historical color charts. So the businesses had gone and had those colors approved by the Architecture Review Board. So some of the businesses down on Bridge Street, you see, will soon be painting. The one building that houses the, it's up by, between the condos and the Carpet Mart, you know, between the condos and the carpet store. They're gonna be doing some facial work, putting some sculpting on the, I forget what they called it, tooth sculpting, what's it called, where they have like little, I think it's called something teeth, teeth molding or something. So they had that approved, and they got approved for some new colors. And they have a new business going in there. It's gonna be an antique, I think, and gift shop, antique and gift shop. And then in the carpet store, they got approval to do some outside painting and so forth, because they're gonna have a new business going in there also. A new beauty salon, I believe, is taking over one of the storefronts there. So it was a busy meeting. They had, like I said, then up the street, they had some approvals. They're working with a couple developers who are getting their building plans looked at by the review board. And a lot of times they do that so that when they bring them to the review board, they know they're gonna be good to go and they'll be approved. But it was a good meeting, a busy meeting, and so that's good to know. But that was the Historic Preservation Committee. Okay. All right, thank you. In the Planning Commission, I said was canceled, but they're gonna start meeting, the next two meetings, I think they're gonna be discussing the results of the city zoning projects and so forth, and how that will affect the Planning Commission. Ideally, it's gonna cut down on some of their work, you know, because they won't have all these exemptions, things will be already spelled out. Okay, is there any discussion for new businesses or proposed legislation?
I have something. So I've had residents reaching out to me that are frustrated with illegal dumping. And I know in preparation for the city cleanup, we've certainly identified some areas for the illegal dumping. And I just would like an exploration of solutions for this problem. Maybe that could go to Public Works, for example. An idea that residents kept bringing up was bulk pickup. And I know cost is a turnoff there. So I mean, just throwing ideas out. Example, maybe an increase of $2 a bill, you know, might fund that. But the other thing that I was asked about, and I did find there is a grant for it, would be surveillance cameras in illegal dumping areas. So I was just hoping that we could explore some solutions to problems that I'm hearing.
Mr. President, if I may, so we do bulk pickup. If the resident calls us and we can come out and give them a price of, you know, we can pick items up right at their house. If they have bulk pickup and no way to get it down to the transfer station. We do that all the time. So we are doing that. The cameras, actually the County Solid Waste District has purchased a few of those cameras. We've tried them in some of the areas. They weren't as successful as we wanted them to be, but we have put those up out of sight in some of those areas, such as Ohio Avenue Extension. I can't remember where the other two sites that we put those up at and tried it, but it's always something we can continue to try. But unfortunately, the times we had them out there, we weren't successful in catching anyone.
Thank you, Mr. Timonier. And just last year, we did reach, increased the garbage fees, a couple dollars a month, I think, so.
We did, yes.
Yeah, just last year, to help with it, because there was a shortage in the sanitation fund, and we're trying to address that. Okay, thank you. Anything else, Mrs. DiGiacomo?
No, hoping that this can go to Public Works just for a further discussion.
Thank you. Anybody else have any new business or proposed legislation? Okay.
What is the date for the cleanup again?
It's May 9th. And yes, we still need volunteers, more volunteers.
And is that something that would go on our calendar?
Is it on our calendar?
No.
No?
It's not on the council calendar. That's usually just for meetings and stuff.
Is it something we can put on the calendar?
Yeah, I can put it on there.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any discussion of old business or legislation that's on for a second reading?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I was going to check with Mr. Manager. Do we have any updates on the recycle grant?
We have not yet. I think in the email I sent, it should be coming up here, so we might know this week.
Okay,
Or, well, I
Crossing
think they said
fingers.
April, so.
okay. Thank you.
Mr. President, I do have a question for the manager. For the downtown, I see they've started working. All the businesses ready to go that are doing, I guess, where's everything at? I get asked questions about this all the time. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
so I
just
think,
asking
I think there's 3 out to bid right now, businesses out to bid, and I think they have pre-bid meetings on Wednesday.
This
with bids due.
Wednesday?
Yeah, with bids due back on the following Wednesday. So we're hand-holding a lot of those businesses through those processes now. I think we've been in touch with all of them, just waiting for the design work to come from LDA and the bid packages. Our staff is helping the owners and us put all that together. And then they select from the contractors that have been pre-approved. We have to get a minimum of 3 out to those businesses or to those contractors. And then it's a relatively quick turnaround as far as when those bids are supposed to come back.
So can I ask a question? If somebody that was in that initial group that was going to bid and they changed their mind, what happens to that extra money?
So we have right now, I think, have everything allocated. I think we did up a little bit the minimum that we were going to give out to cover some of that, but we're on track to spend all 500,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Giacomo, I will say that, and I don't know if it was the city or who, but they did come by the businesses and introduce themselves and handed out some document to inform us about the dates that they would be starting to break up the concrete and stuff. So there is a presence. More than the cones, there's actually a body and people who are actually in communication with some of the business owners.
Thank you.
Mr. Manager, so for 500,000, I'm wondering, is this something that when this is done, are you going to go down Main Avenue and go, wow? Or is a lot of this roofs that maybe people
Yeah, it's not
don't really see, but
it's not a lot of roofs. I want to say there's 3 or 4. There's only 3 or 4 projects that are roofs.
okay.
But there are quite a bit of door work, facade work, windows.
So fronts
Yeah,
that you'll
fronts of
notice
the
and,
buildings, yes.
okay.
Couple
Good.
people are doing awnings on their buildings, so we will help with paying for the awning. We won't for anything that has like a business name on it. So if the awning is going to be there forever and ever, those portions of it will be funded. So yeah, there's a lot of good projects in it.
So about the lighting, when you were saying the lights are going to look different through that?
Yeah, all the lights are
done.
coming out that are down here, and there'll be decorative poles put in.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that going in with the sidewalk part or? in the-
Yes, that's with the sidewalk part.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm. So for the way that we plan on doing the lights right now, half the street will be out as they're working on the half. New condo will be wired in. They'll be able to wire that side in, so when they shut the other side off, the new ones should be able to go on as long as the poles come in. So the poles are the longest lead time on this project.
Right.
So,
That's gonna look nice.
But they're laying all the electrical work in the sidewalk for the
Correct.
poles.
correct. So the bases and everything will be in. When the poles arrive, they can just pop them on and wire them up.
I think it's a big
good.
deal. I
Yeah.
just gotta say, it's a big deal.
Mr. Timonir, to what extent, or how is the city working with ADDA around, and partnering with the completion of this project? Because I just heard that there was some conversation around placing lighting on the buildings.
Yeah, so that was one of the, Mr. Thompson, who's the new president of the ADDA. Originally, they had money set aside to do some streetlights. Because we're doing it within this project, I said, what would be really nice is if the buildings had some lighting on them, either down, shooting down that would illuminate from top down and then illuminate the sidewalks a little bit better. Because streetlights, yes, they'll illuminate the sidewalks, but not greatly. So I think he's working on a very uniform look for that Main Avenue area with lighting, and I think it'll highlight the buildings nicely. So we have had discussion.
There was like a downlight, and then there was one to go up. that
Possibly,
could
yeah, on
be
both ends.
Change
Yep.
colors.
Yep.
What about like the old Army Navy store, and then I see the building, I don't know if I saw it today on the a realtor site, the building next to Shea's Theater. These buildings are for sale. What happens there? They just stay the way they are?
They're not part of the, they're not part of the project.
Because nobody, like, even though they may be for sale, but the owners have not said, hey, we still want to fix up our fronts or nothing.
Correct.
They haven't taken that interest to do that.
So the owner of the one that's next to Shea's did express interest, but it was tuck pointing or demolition of the building. So we were kind of like, well, wait a minute. We're not going to give money if there's not really a plan.
Yeah.
In some of the buildings, if there hasn't been a plan to reopen, we've not given money for it.
Yeah, right, yeah, so, okay, yeah. All right, good. Thank you. Just curious. Okay. That was discussion, that was old business and legislation, right? Okay. Is there any discussion for the good of the order?
Since we have a few minutes, I have something just, I just want to thank the manager for going with me to Edgewood High School last Tuesday. If you don't remember, in November of this year, a time capsule was opened, a 50-year time capsule that was buried up by Key Bank. And the first thing out of that was a football from a 1975 Edgewood Jefferson game, which I was a senior majorette at that game. And with a note from Mr. Batanian saying, please return this ball in 50 years. So the odds are probably better of winning the lottery than to have been at that game 50 years ago and been a counselor and saw that football come out of that time capsule 50 years later. So I have to say, it was emotional taking the ball out to the high school. And I even sent a message to the football player who caught that pass to make the win. Yes, so he got to see the note. And so Mr. Batanian is smiling up there knowing that that ball got home last Tuesday, and I got to put it in the case and everything. It was really thrilling. And Mr. Timonir, I'd like to also thank you for the signs that you're designing for the Morrison Foundation. I did see one of the people who was, one of the ladies who brought it up, and I showed her the signs, and they're absolutely thrilled. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Foglio. And I want to say congratulations for admitting that you were there 50 years.
I was.
Yeah. You were very young, though. You
I
were,
was. I
you
was
were a young,
12.
12, you see. Yeah. All right, very good. Okay. Anything else for the good of the order? All right, seeing nothing, we have 15 minutes before we begin our regular meeting, so we will adjourn until 7 o'clock.
They did.
manager's turning on the TV now, so, because it's televised. The camera's up in the corner. Oh, no. Oh, my. I don't think we would. I don't think we would do that. I'm going to call the city council meeting for the city of Ashtabula to order. Today is Monday, April 20th, 2026. At this time, if you would please stand for the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we ask you to let your inspiration precede these council's actions, and all present here today, and your assistance further us, so that every word and work of ours may take its beginning from you, and so begun, may through you reach its completion. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, yeah, if you would please stand for a moment, I'm sorry. We'd like to have a moment of silence for city employees who have passed, and we had a recent passing of a city employee, Danny Standys. He was in our Public Works Department, I believe, and he served many years with the city of Ashtabula. So if we could have a moment of silence to remember Dan. Thank you. Old Sweet Town guy, so. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. Holman?
Present.
Mrs. Mills?
Here.
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Here,
Mrs. Foglio?
Here.
Mr. Guerrero?
Here.
Mr. Simeone?
Here.
Mr. Roskovich?
Here.
Mr. Timonier?
Here.
Ms. Cooper? Here. Mr. Khan?
Here.
Okay, we are all present this evening, so no one needs to be excused. We have met the requirements of the Sunshine Law. At this time, we will have a reading of our legislation.
These items will be presented for passage this evening. Ordinance number 2026-76, an ordinance authorizing participation in the ODOT road salt contracts awarded in 2026. Ordinance number 2026-77, an ordinance authorizing additional funding for the West 48th Street Collins Boulevard project. Ordinance number 2026-78, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Vest Truck Equipment for the purchase of a Boss plow package for water pollution control. Ordinance number 2026-79, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with J. Severino Construction for the OPWC Michigan Avenue Sanitary Improvements Project. Ordinance number 2026-80, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with GPD Group of Akron, Ohio for the purpose of providing engineering, design, and construction administration for Hulbert Avenue South reconstruction. Ordinance number 2026-81, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Lake County Landscape and Supply for the West Avenue Sidewalk Project. And ordinance number 2026-82, a resolution by the city of Ashtabula to support submission of a State of Ohio Brownfield Remediation Program Fund remediation grant by the Ashtabula City Port Authority for the Tannery Hill property. These items will be presented for first reading. Ordinance number 2026-83, an ordinance enacting adoption of the Employee General Reimbursement Policy. Ordinance number 2026-84, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to repower the 32-foot Justice Base boat at Roaming Rock Marina. And these items will be presented for a second reading. Ordinance number 2026-73, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Best Truck Equipment for the purchase of a Skag zero-turn and push mower for Parks and Recreation. Ordinance number 2026-74, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Sean and Delia Hoach for tax abatement at 100% for 7 years for new residential dwellings located at 1814 West 10th Street, Ashtabula, Ohio, 44004. Ordinance number 2026-75, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Mitchell Malasky and Amanda Wood for tax abatement at 100% for 7 years for new residential dwellings located at 2602 Brook Lane, Ashtabula, Ohio, 44004.
Thank you, Ms. Milberg. May I have a motion to approve the order of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio moves and Mrs. Mills seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We approve the agenda by a 7-0 vote. At this time, I don't see any special items or communications. So at this time, we will have citizens' comments and community announcements. If anyone would like to address the council, please approach the podium, state your name and address or some kind of identifying information as to where you live, and you can share your comments with council.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Holbert, and I live at 601 West 44th Street. I spoke to some of you earlier, Jody, especially. You're in my Ward 4, apparently. And my parents used to own Holbert's Restaurant down in the harbor, Jim and Betty Holbert, who recently passed away. So anyway, my question to you is, when do you think we're going to get West 44th Street paved? Because, like I said earlier, that we have a lot of mufflers and pieces of cars laying in the street because it's so bad. So the sewer system there is blocked up, and that's why the road looks like a mogul down at Peak and Peak. So I was just curious, when do you think we can get the road paved and get this either fixed or re-asphalted? So that was my question to you all. And thank you for your time tonight, and I appreciate you all.
Well, thank you for coming. We do understand that that road is in poor shape. I guess there's no other way to say it. And I think we have already announced our paving list for this year, and unfortunately, that road is not on it. But I don't know if the manager can maybe share it. It's a brick road,
Correct.
and I think that presents,
Special problems, I understand.
problems.
I understand that.
yeah, you wouldn't be able to go down there with like a patch, an asphalt patch or nothing.
No, Mr. President, no. You know, if anything, we may be able to take out areas of those bricks, try to fix the earthwork underneath it and put them back in, but it's a tedious process for that. I'm assuming you're talking about,
James, the problem is the sewer system is plugged.
you're talking
and
about the storm drains.
the storm drains are plugged.
Okay.
Yes. So what's happening is all that water comes up, and we have to move our cars
Gotcha.
physically because they're underwater.
So we can come out and take a look at those storm drains and see if we can open those up or see if there's something going on underneath.
That would definitely help.
Okay.
And there's only really 3 bad bumps that are taking people out. So that's my concern, is the city getting sued, for one thing, because my wife and I will be swinging on the swing, and we see people come down 30 miles an hour, and they don't know that those bumps are there, and they're getting wiped out. So
Okay,
if you could look into that.
we can take a look at those storm drains.
Thank you, Mr. Timoney, I appreciate you.
But it would be correct, Mr. Timonier, that if we were going to do something with that road, we'd have to take all the bricks up. You can't pave over bricks.
You can pave over them, but it's not a very successful endeavor. They sometimes put a geo-type fabric over top of it that allows for some movement, but to do it correctly, we'd want to rip the brick.
That's like a Band-Aid.
Right.
Where you need to turn.
Right.
And another problem with that street is when it goes around the corner there, it goes on to Route 20.
Yeah.
All of that cement is gone. There's chunks of cement.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's really
That's the other side of Prospect Circle.
Yeah, the other Prospect Circle, yeah, that's the thing, yeah, so.
So,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, everyone. My name's Jack Rosario. I live 5859 Runkle Avenue. And change the topic a little bit. I wanted to talk about having your neighbors clean up their properties in the neighborhood. I mean, which is, I made calls about this several times, but it gets worse and worse. It just gets moved to the back, get hidden behind the house, get hidden behind the garage. What's drawing the line for me right now is they're cleaning up some woods and stuff in the back, which I've already approached them and asked them to stop because I own the property behind the house, behind their house and stuff, and trees and brush and stuff. So the only thing I can tell him was to stop now, unless he wanted to have the property surveyed, he can do whatever he want. But I asked him to stop where he's at. And so on all that, it's continued on as far as with the city will come out. Yes, they have respond to all the calls and everything, but they just put everything into the garage, and then once you're gone, everything comes right back out again.
But you have reported it to the city
I've
on
reported
several
it to the
occasions?
city. I've even come over and talked to them about it and stuff, you know?
Mr.
It's not
President,
getting me anywhere.
Yes.
this has been ongoing, and I'd say we probably talk quite often. Don't we? And they do, it's a rental. So they'll come out and maybe fix up a little bit or whatever, and then, yeah, that's what, it's what happens.
It's a rental.
And I feel bad because when he looks out his window, that's what he has to see, and his yard is neat and
At times, I don't even
pristine.
know who lives there because I just see faces all day long, all night long. I mean, I really don't. I mean, just the actual person, Steve, I know,
Yeah.
but I never see him outside. The mess is done by everyone else. It might be their treasure, but it's a bunch junk to me, and it's bringing up rodents as far as rats and raccoons and possums, the whole bit are coming up around the house and stuff.
And you said you've seen the city guys out there?
Oh,
and
yeah.
They've been there and
I've
so
seen
forth, so-
Steve and everything come
So
out.
it's on the radar.
Mr. President, so this particular home is a Section 8 home, so we don't inspect it. It's inspected by AMHA. We've notified AMHA several times about this, and I think our housing has talked with the solicitor's office too. If they're not going to intercede, what our jurisdiction can be with that house.
Okay. So, and unfortunately, these things take time. I
Yeah,
mean, we've
and I
had,
know it's all over.
Yeah.
It's not just, but I mean,
yeah, but
it's
thank you for sharing.
a
that.
real sore.
And keep expressing your concerns, and the solicitor's office and the manager's office will continue to give it some attention. But it takes time, unfortunately.
Thank you. I understand.
If you need to leave to go, I think.
I got some cats to watch.
I know, go right, don't feel bad. Go feel bad.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
for your
you.
work. Appreciate you.
D. Scruggs, and my name is with a C, S-C-R-U-G-G-S. I was shown something in one of the statements I made the last time I came to the meeting that Lisa had at the library. I came back and made a statement. I want to make sure everybody understands what I said so it's not misquoted. My statement was, I think that the council people should actually go to a meeting currently. Because when I went to that meeting at that library, I was shocked at some of the things, and I actually commend Ward 2 and Ward 5 for being there. You know, I know your names. But there's a lot of things that have changed, you guys, in this city. And a lot of things have changed as a nation. We know that. So what you might have learned a year ago or 2 years ago when you went to this meeting, it has changed because Ashtabula has changed. And some of the mentality in Ashtabula has changed. So my recommendation is for anyone, especially the ones that we voted for you to be our voices and our whatever, go to the current meeting. I had a young man there that blew my mind. And I walked and thought about what I would be like when I'm 80 and he has to make decisions. I'm not worried about him now. I'm not worried about me. He has it. So I'm recommending that you guys, for the sake of ever who voted for you, give him a chance, and the minorities my black minorities, my Spanish minorities, my Mexican minorities, my white minorities. Give them a chance to actually speak to you guys one-on-one. I know I got 5 minutes. I got maybe 2 more. Thank you. I actually saw something that was awesome. This weekend on 39th and Station Avenue, they're building houses for people to own. Oh my God, was I excited. Matter of fact, I was so excited, I stopped there and asked them what they were doing. Then after asking them what I was doing, I actually came up to the city and asked the city solicitor, I didn't ask you, but I asked the person in the office, what are they doing on my street? Because I'm not gonna let too much get through my neighborhood. First thing I'm asking was it gonna be a slumlord? They said, no way would this building be used for that. It's homeowners. I'm saying to everyone who's listening to me on this system on TV, go and find out what it takes to be a homeowner. If they're gonna put these houses in, there's 3, I got that information. They're gonna put them in station, why are you renting when you can own a house? It doesn't make sense. And what you're paying to rent, you'd probably be paying less to own it. So whatever it takes, I don't know if the city manager has that information for what it requires for you to get a home, but there will be 3 made in that area on station. 1 would be a ranch, got all this information for you. 6, I talked to the individuals there and he said from Land Madison there was 3. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the correction. I don't want to get any misinformation. But the mayor is saying, manager is saying there's 6. Why would you let one get past you if you can own that place? Don't have to worry about the landlord telling you not to put nails in the wall. Can claim it on your taxes. Can have your own garage. Common sense is something you can actually use if you use it. So come to the city manager, ask the questions, see how you qualify, own your house instead of renting. That way we ain't got to worry about some landlord renting out to somebody who doesn't care how their property's being kept.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mrs.
President,
Grubbs.
may I
And-
add something? So she's talking about the Welcome Home Ohio program, and I believe this last Saturday, there was a presentation on it. So you can get in touch with you or the land bank. You do want to get pre-qualified for a loan. That's the homework you need to do now. But there are going to be 6 houses. The value will be $300,000, but the Welcome Home Ohio is paying $120,000 of that, right?
The houses will sell for about $180,000
Yeah, but
when it's all
so
said and
that's
done.
right. So you're not having to come up with a down payment. So your monthly bill is going to be less than what it would be to rent. Maybe, I mean,
I think I'm sorry, Mr. President. So yes, this is part of the Welcome Home Ohio program. So the Land Bank received a grant which supplements the cost of these houses so that people who generally could not afford to build a brand new house can afford it. So they supplement that. What is really nice about the program is you have, as Mrs. DiGiacomo said, you have built-in equity in the house. So you may purchase it for $180,000, but the house is worth upwards of $300,000. So banks are interested in doing this too because there's built-in equity in the houses. We had a lender from Huntington Bank at the meeting, and we've also heard from First Commonwealth down here on Main Avenue. They're interested in funding this program. There's information, we've had information on the city's social media pages. There's information on the county land bank's website on how to start the process and get in line with this. It is really a first come, first serve as long as you income qualify and have all of your documents in. So even if you rush and get your name on there, but you don't have all the documents in, you're not in line yet for that program. So there's some homework that the individuals have to do to be part of it. Our hope is that the first 6 will actually turn into the first 7 if there's enough money. We're going to build a 7th house with it. 3 of them are ordered right now. One of them should be on the way where you see the foundation going in now, which is near where you were talking about. Yeah. It should be here within the next like 3 to 4 weeks. And from the day it shows up, and they're modular homes, but we're trying to get away from the modular, what everybody thinks of a modular stigmatism. These are actually prefabricated houses. They look beautiful. They're 2-story houses. They're 3 bedrooms. They have a garage with them as well. So we're really excited about this program. The Land Bank is actually putting in another application for even more funding to try to extend this program out. It may or may not be within the city, but it's at least we're building these types of houses that workforce type individuals can get into and own. But it is about home ownership. And the person that purchases this house cannot just turn around and sell it and make a profit from it. There's a deed restriction in it. I believe it's for 10 years, where if the house does sell, the next person will have to also income qualify. So that's the whole point of the program, is to make sure that it stays at a level that's attainable. So we're really excited about it. Yes, it's a good program.
Mr. President, we just did some quick math here. $180,000 for 20 years at 6% interest is about $1,250 a month.
That's what, yeah,
And I can tell you, we're seeing people paying
that for.
$900, $1,100, $1,400 a month for places that you wouldn't live in.
And Mr. Manager, so we said at the meeting too, they're putting taxes and insurance in there. And so it could possibly be that they could come to get that abated, so it could even be less.
That's true. The other thing is, these are extremely energy efficient and buttoned up. They have high efficiency heat pumps in them.
All the appliances.
All the appliances are in them, so people aren't buying a house and then have to buy appliances. We don't want people to run out and get, put things on their credit. So it is really, you move your furniture in and your clothes and you're ready to roll. So it's a well thought out program, and we hope the state keeps funding it.
Real quick, just 2 seconds. I'll take 2 seconds of your time. I talked to the gentleman from Madison that was there. First question I asked him, can they buy this house and then rent it out? No way.
No.
And I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
Rent it out turning into slum lords like some of the problems we already have. Okay.
Right, that can't happen. And
Mis-
again,
Mr.
Ms.
Manager.
Scruggs, thank you for bringing that up, because we had the meeting Saturday morning. The attendance was okay, but we were hoping for more. And so by you bringing it up this evening, maybe more people watching. I know the Beacon, Star Beacon did an article about it. Maybe as the word gets out more and more, like you saw this happening and you went there, maybe.
I think from that meeting, we have 2 potential homeowners.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good, that's good. So, that's
And
good.
Mr.
Thank you.
Manager, I'm not seeing it. I looked on the land bank site. I didn't see it
There,
listed.
if you go up to,
I clicked on all the tabs and
it's up there.
drop downs.
It's the tab with,
Because I know at the meeting I talked about, if you're a homeowner, you would probably have a realtor to help you. So in this process, you're not going to have that. So I asked them, what do you do? Because I don't want people to get frustrated with this process and be like, I don't have anybody to help me. So they said you can call them directly. So Welcome Home directly is 614-233-1215. So people can call that if they start with the bank or they have a problem, and the bank's, one of the banks that was there is going to waive the fees and all that kind of stuff. So they're really trying to work with the people, because if it's the first time you're going through it, it's a lot. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of things they're asking of you. And normally if you'd have a realtor, but you don't have that helper there. So you're able to call them directly.
yeah, there's a lot of assistance, but Asheville County Land Bank.com.
Did you find it?
It's all one word. If you hover over property sales, there's like a white box that shows up. If you slide your mouse down over that, the first thing you'll see is Who Ashtabula City. And when you click on that, that'll take you to all the information there about it.
Perfect.
Anybody who can do it. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Mr. Quendo, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Oquindo. I live in Ward 1. Just to kind of piggyback and follow up off of, the conversation everyone was just having about the Welcome Home program. Mr. Manager, you said there was built-in equity. What did you say the value was?
They're assuming the value is going to be around 300,000 or more, and then the sales price of the house should be about 180.
Okay. And the reason I ask that is because I would challenge anybody to find a house on Station Avenue that is valued at 300,000 or even close to 200,000 for that matter. So I believe we should approach this program with a healthy amount of skepticism, especially looking at some of the things you have to do to qualify and to maintain the benefits. You have to go through financial aid classes. There's a whole bunch of hoops. So if you are going to look at taking advantage of this program, like I said, approach it with a healthy amount of skepticism. Make sure you read everything and you can commit to all the criteria that they require you to submit to. Moving on from that, one of the things that I hear every week or every 2 weeks when I come to these meetings is, somebody's talking about the condition of their road or a road that they frequent and how it is atrocious, potholes everywhere. You got to swerve. You got to worry about your car getting damaged. I don't know the exact amount that we're spending on our portion for the Bridge Street, Hubbard Hill, or whatever the name of it is. But and every week I hear, council, city manager, just the overall sentiment, like, unfortunately, your road is not going to get taken care of this year. And it kind of like, well, damn, Bridge Street's getting this nice hill that nobody even uses, really. So I would like to see our money to go toward the roads for the residents, unfortunately not for the tourists or anybody who's going to use that road on Bridge Street. But on a positive note, tonight we are here to talk about to discuss the brownfield grants for Tannery Hill. I just want to say I'm super excited about that because that is one step. I don't know if this is the plan, but this is one step of moving toward a potential park down on Tannery Hill. And I think that would be a beautiful thing. I look at it every day, when I see it, and I just imagine the activities and the use that it would get down there. So I just want to say I'm excited about that. But otherwise, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Quindle.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Just as far as Hulbert Hill goes, that was a critical infrastructure grant. I want to say we are in it for about between $20,000 and $30,000 is our portion of it. The bulk of it is all from critical. And if we didn't get that critical infrastructure grant, we wouldn't be doing the hill.
Go ahead.
So I'm Susan Holbert, and I just wanted to continue on from where my husband took off from. And that is that currently there's going to be some street, well, actually it's Aqua's going to come in there and be replacing a bunch of piping for 3 of the houses to my left there. And when they do that, they're going to be ripping up part of the road. So it's just something that maybe working with them, we can find a solution so it doesn't continue to be year after year. When it floods there, it floods there. When it rains, I mean, literally it is up to almost to my knee high. And if I don't catch that and my car's on the street, it will literally flood my car out. When kids come down there, they are literally flying over those hills, not realizing. Ambulances and police come down there. The snow plows rarely will plow our street because of the excessive dips in there. Because if they're not aware of it, it will damage their plows. I mean, it's getting really bad. I know I called the planning department 3 times in 1 year. Never got a return call. Never got a follow-up. And I just found that to be a little alarming to me because this flooding that we're dealing with will come up over into our driveway about 3 feet. So it's not a little flooding, it's quite a bit of flooding that goes on there. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you, Mrs. Holman. And if the water company is working there, know that they are in contact with the city, and the city has a good relationships with them, and if there's a way to make some improvements, then that's good that they'll work with the city on that. Hopefully, maybe baby steps, I don't know what we'll do, we'll see, but it's frustrating. Yes, Sarah, go ahead.
Hi, Sarah Brower, Ward 2. I'm actually not here to talk about an anti-ice ordinance, so don't worry. I wanted to just invite everybody to a data center meeting we're having this Wednesday night. It's going to be at the Ashtabula Downtown Library at 6 p.m. Our group, Betsy's Bees, is hosting someone from a nonprofit called Policy Matters. She's going to talk about some of the statewide policies around data center development. And we're going to talk a little bit about, we've been following up with Conneaut City Council because they've had something in the works over there, but it's been very not transparent. And I know there's some sentiment about these projects that it's, it's a business relationship between a private developer and a private landowner, but we feel like data centers affect the commons here, our common resources, and that the community should know about it. So if that's something that's of interest to you, you should come. I also wanted to talk about I went to the meeting a few weeks ago where the consultant talked about the comprehensive plan that's being done for the city, and I thought that was a really cool presentation with some really progressive ideas. And I actually just wanted to ask about, he talked about the potential for tiny home developments within the city, and he mentioned that there's some parcels of land that are several acres in size, and I actually have a group of people that are interested in building a tiny home community, so I'm interested in, like, if something like that was available within the city, how would I go about finding that out and pursuing that?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned tiny homes, because I just asked Mr. Timonier and he mentioned tiny homes. So if you have someone interested in it, certainly contact Mr. Timonier.
Yeah, we'd love to have those conversations. So right now, as the comprehensive plan finishes and then we move on to zoning, zoning is where we'll figure out where those tiny homes should or should not be, and where those developments can and can't happen. And then there'll be guidelines around how that is done. But they have identified some areas that we think would really fit. So, we're probably another year out from having the zoning done. So in that time frame, we'd love to have some conversations about it.
Okay. Are they parcels that are owned by the city, or is it
No.
just, no, okay.
Not
So
owned by the city.
so there'd have to be some
Have to be some
arrangements
working
made.
around with developers and with property owners on how to make it happen.
Okay. So that's something I could just email you and
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
set something up?
Sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we want housing.
Yeah, I know.
Even if they're tiny houses.
Yeah, and he mentioned it wouldn't be like the tradition, like some tiny houses are as small as like 200-300 square feet, but he mentioned they'd be maybe 500-600 or something like that, which seems a lot more reasonable. Okay. I also wanted to ask about the tax abatement program. So me and my partner own a building on Bridge Street, and we've had a ton of work done to it, and we didn't know about tax abatement, programs. Kind of when we went into everything. So I know you can't like retroactively get one, obviously, but I'm curious for any upcoming work. We have a lot of masonry that's going to need, we have bricks that are all spalled on the side of the building, and eventually going to need a lot of tuck pointing and things like that. It's going to be, we've already put in tens of thousands of dollars into this building, and with the commercial kitchen we've put in and everything, it's well over 100, but the masonry stuff is going to be expensive. I'm curious if there's anything we can do. We already, since we've already put in some work, but is there something we can pursue for future work?
Yeah, so renovations of any type, whether it's commercial or residential, can be eligible for tax abatement. The difficulty with renovation is what the auditor's office is going to determine is an increased value of the property. So things like one-to-one replacement of windows or tuck pointing and things like that is usually considered just general maintenance, and it doesn't necessarily increase the value of the property. We've had some cases where people have put in, $80,000 worth of work into a home, but the value of the house only went up maybe $10,000.
And that's, the abatement is based on the
Right,
appraised.
so when you have an existing structure, it's the value today versus the value after all the work is done, what they place on that, and that portion in between is what is abated. But we're happy to have those conversations with you. And we can kind of walk you through, if you're already doing these projects, are there some other things that you can do that would increase the value of the property that might make doing those projects worth it with a tax abatement?
Okay.
Yep.
So with the new construction, you just figure it's the cost of the project since it had zero value before,
No,
basically?
not necessarily. So there are cases where, especially now with the cost of building a home per square foot, the value that's placed on those homes at the end of it is not mathing out to, they don't put a value on base. So if you build a house for $250,000, that doesn't mean the value is going to be $250,000. So but with a new home, it's whatever they're paying for taxes now with it just being dirt. And then with the renovation on it, with the house on it, that portion is abated.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to address council at this time?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I just, for the city manager, it's June 4th, that's the next public zoning meeting? Because you brought that up. Is it June 4th?
The public one? It's,
Yes, June 4th, it will be at ARMC in the community room in the new patient tower on the first floor at 6 o'clock. And as we get closer, we'll have more information out on it.
Is there a survey out yet? The survey?
The survey is live that people can take, and I can't remember when it closes. But the survey is live right now, yes.
Okay. All right, seeing no one else wishing to address council, are there any councilor comments? We had a meeting announcement just there, so. Anything else from councilors? All right, we will go on with our consent agenda. We will begin with the approval of minutes.
April 6, 2026, pre-council meeting was called to order at 6 p.m. by President Roscovics. Present, Mr. Roscovics, Mr. Simeone, Mrs. Foglio, Mr. Guerrero, Ms. Holman, Mrs. Mills, and Mrs. DiGiacomo. Officers present were City Manager Timonier, City Solicitor Cooper, Finance Director Khan, and Clerk of Council Milberg.
May I have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes in their entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio moves and Mrs. Mills seconds. Any discussion?
Mr. President?
Yes.
We've already heard from a resident mention the correct spelling of their name and actually a correction of what's been stated from her comments from last meeting. So I'd recommend those changes be made.
All right. Thank you. Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will approve those minutes by a 7-0 vote with the correct spelling and the
Correct comment.
in comment. Okay, regular council meeting?
April 6, 2026, regular council meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. by President Roscovics. Vice President Simeone offered the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance was recited. Present, Mr. Roscovics, Mr. Simeone, Mrs. Foglio, Mr. Guerrero, Ms. Holman, Mrs. Mills, and Mrs. DiGiacomo. Officers present were City Manager Timonier, City Solicitor Cooper, Finance Director Khan, and Clerk of Council Milberg.
May I have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes in their entirety? I will move. Is there a second?
Second.
Mrs. Foglio seconds. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President?
Yes.
I think that the corrections that Ms. Holman talked about are actually in this set of minutes, not the pre-council minutes.
Okay, they're in the regular council meeting minutes? Yeah, that's where they would have been because,
Page 205.
right. Okay, yeah, because public portion is during regular council meeting. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Guerrero. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Those minutes will be approved by a 7-0 vote. We have no resolutions this evening, so we will hear on our, the ordinance will be read so that we may vote on their passage.
Ordinance number 2026-76, an ordinance authorizing participation in the ODOT road salt contracts awarded in 2026. Ordinance number 2026-77, an ordinance authorizing additional funding for the West 48th Street Collins Boulevard project. Ordinance number 2026-78, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Best Truck Equipment for the purchase of a Boss Plow package for water pollution control. Ordinance number 2026-79, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with J. Severino Construction, Inc. for the OPWC Michigan Avenue Sanitary Improvements Project. Ordinance number 2026-80, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with GPD Group of Akron, Ohio for the purpose of providing engineering, design, and construction administration for Hulbert Avenue South reconstruction. Ordinance number 2026-81, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Lake County Landscape and Supply for the West Avenue Sidewalk Project. Resolution number 2026-82, a resolution by the City of Ashtabula to support submission of a State of Ohio Brownfield Remediation Program Fund remediation grant by the Ashtabula City Port Authority for the Tannery Hill property.
Thank you, Ms. Milberg. Is there a motion to handle tonight's, these ordinances in consent agenda format?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Foglio, a second by Mrs. Mills. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will do so by a 7-0 vote. Can I have a motion to waive the reading of this legislation in its entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Holman moves, Mr. Guerrero seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will waive the entire reading by a 7-0 vote. Is there a motion to waive the charter requirements for 2 readings? I will move.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio will second. Any discussion? Will you please call the roll, Mrs. Mills?
Mrs.
Mrs.
DiGiacomo?
Milberg? I saw the first name. Miss Milberg, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
Yes.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
We will waive the charter requirements of 2 readings by a 7-0 vote. We will now vote on the adoption of these items of legislation.
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
Yes.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
These items of legislation have all passed by a 7-0 vote. We will now move on to items that are on their second reading and upon, these are items that are on their first reading. They will not be adopted this evening. Ms. Milberg, would you please read these items for us?
Ordinance number 2026-83, an ordinance enacting adoption of the Employee General Reimbursement Policy. Ordinance number 2026-84, an ordinance authorizing the city manager. Did that need to go on? Okay, it wasn't in matrix. It wasn't notated that way.
I'm going to pass that tonight.
Yeah, Mr. President, if you wouldn't mind voting on 2026-83, and then for 2026-84, we would like you to consider that one tonight.
Okay.
So you would just have to motion to waive the second reading.
Yeah. All right, so we will vote on ordinance 2026-83. Is there a motion to waive the reading of that legislation in its entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio moves and Mrs. Mills second. Is there any discussion?
I do have a question. Where did I find the additional information about that? I missed that. What is that, Employee General Reimbursement Policy?
Yes, so I was planning to present that policy next meeting, and that's basically to accommodate the new requirements set by the Ohio Auditor of State Office pertaining sales tax reimbursement.
So you'll provide more information at a
Next
future
meeting, yep.
But you're asking us to vote on it today?
Just the first reading,
Add it to the agenda.
just to place it on the agenda. And it's based on the auditor of the states. That's their thing.
Yes, bulletin number 2025-013.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Wait, can I ask, I'm confused, so we're not voting on this tonight?
It's on for your first reading, so you're just voting the first reading tonight, and then at the next meeting, you'll ask for adoption of it.
Is that backwards? So we're putting on the agenda and we don't really know.
The reading entirely.
Waive two readings.
Yes.
No, we're not waiving two readings on this,
You're waiving the reading entirely.
of the entire ordinance, yeah.
Which we haven't seen the ordinance. Is it?
Yeah, it's, yeah, and I'm seeing, I didn't know what more we would need. We have the policy, we've read all that. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
detailed. Policy requirements are in here. Right? Everything's attached,
It's here, yeah.
yeah. And it goes back to State Bulletin 2025-013.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So we will waive the first reading, or the reading of the entirety of the legislation by a 7-0 vote. Ordinance 2026-84.
Ordinance number 2026-84, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to repower the 32-foot Justice Base boat at Roaming Rock Marina.
May I have a motion to waive the reading of this legislation in its entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio moves, Mrs. Mills seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will waive the entire reading of the legislation by a 7-0 vote. May I have a motion to waive two readings of this legislation?
So moved.
Mrs. Foglio moves,
Second.
Mrs. Mills seconds to waive two readings. Any discussion? Will you please call the roll on that?
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
Yes.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
We will waive two readings by a 7-0 vote. Can we now have a vote on the adoption of this item of legislation?
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
Yes.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
Item legislation 2026-84 has passed by a 7-0 vote. Okay, can we have the reading of the legislation that is on for its second reading and passage?
Ordinance number 2026-73, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Best Truck Equipment for the purchase of a Skag zero-turn and push mower for Parks and Recreation. Ordinance number 2026-74, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Sean and Delia Hoach for tax abatement at 100% for 7 years for new residential dwellings located at 1814 West 10th Street, Ashtabula, Ohio 44004. Ordinance number 2026-75, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Mitchell Mulaski and Amanda Wood for tax abatement at 100% for 7 years for new residential dwellings located at 2602 Brook Lane, Ashtabula, Ohio 44004.
Thank you, Ms. Milberg. Is there a motion to handle these three items in consent agenda format?
No.
There's,
Somebody else made a motion, but not.
I'm sorry, what? You, Ms. Holman, you would like two items separated out?
Yes, ordinance number 2026-74 and ordinance number 2026-75.
Okay. So we will, can I have a motion? Yes. Oh, I thought somebody, can I have a motion to waive the reading of 2026-73? To waive the reading of that item of legislation in its entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Holman moves, Mrs. Mills seconds, all in.
Mrs. DiGiacomo, second.
Oh, Mrs. DiGiacomo seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will waive the reading of the legislation by a 7-0 vote. And because this is on the second reading, we don't need to, we're just going to vote on the adoption. So will you call the roll?
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
Yes.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
This item of legislation has passed by a 7-0 vote. Can I have a motion to waive the reading of 2026-74? Can I have a motion to waive the reading of that legislation in its entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Foglio moves, Mrs. Mills seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will waive the entire reading by a 7-0 vote. We will now vote on the adoption of this item of legislation. Will you please call the roll?
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
No.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
This item of legislation has passed by a 6-1 vote. We will now vote on the ordinance 2026-75. May I have a motion to waive the reading of the legislation in its entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio moves, Mr. Guerrero seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will waive the entire reading by a 7-0 vote. We will now vote on the adoption of this legislation. Ms. Milberg, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Yes.
Mrs. Foglio?
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Mr. Simeone?
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich?
Yes.
Ms. Holman?
No.
Mrs. Mills?
Yes.
That item has also passed by a 6-1 vote. Thank you. And that concludes our legislation.
Mr. Roskovich?
Yes.
Was it the first reading or the second reading we asked for a discussion or comments about the legislation?
I asked for discussion after we waived the reading of the legislation in its entirety. Motion to waive the reading, and then it says discussion.
Okay, well, I must have missed that. And
Okay.
so my question about that is,
Yeah.
do we yet know whether or not these applications are for first-time home buyers? Do we know that information?
No, I don't know that legislation. I know that somebody requested the application. Is that on the application?
Mr. President, I don't believe that question's on the application.
I don't know.
And I don't know if I know these are both owner occupied. I don't know if they're first-time home buyers.
And do we know whether or not this is, would be their only home, or if they are multi-home owners?
Mr. President, I believe both of these Both of these homes, the people that are going to occupy them have lived in Ashtabula, so I don't think they have other homes, but I don't know that for sure.
And so the reason I ask is because I've been advocating for us to ask more questions on the application so we can make informed decisions. And for one of those homes, it appears as though the value is over $500,000, and I will continue to ask why we approve 100% for 7 years for homes that are over $1 million. And basically, I think that we should all pay our fair share of taxes.
Anything else? Anybody else have any comments on that? I will just say, like, the one house on 10th Street, there's 3 or 4 houses built there, now 3 or 4 more are going up, so I think these kind of things spur development. I know the residents who were at the meeting on Saturday about the Station Avenue, West 30, they were very, the lady from the bank told them that they would be, you know, if they applied for tax abatement, they would save on their monthly payments and so forth. So I think this is a tool that, you know, spurs, feeds upon itself and continues to spur development down the road, I guess, so.
So my comment is not about whether we want to disincentivize abatement. We want to encourage that.
Yes.
The comment that I've consistently made is to looking at the information that provided so that we have the details. Now, one of those applications, home is around $302,000, which one could say, you know, that's debatable if we're looking at a tiered process. However, it's different if someone is asking for an abatement for a home that is over $500,000. So we're not always comparing apples to apples. There are details that we should be aware of so we can make more informed decisions.
Okay, I guess I just don't, that's certainly an opinion, and we thank you for sharing that with us, Ms. Holman.
Mr. President?
Yes.
We do all have that information to read before we're making our vote, so we do have that information.
I correct you, we don't have all of the information. Mr. Timonier just stated that some information we have, and there's certain things that we don't know.
Mr. President,
They're just not
the application for abatement has been online before I even started here. So if council wants to change that application, please put forward some suggestions to change the application. Let's just not keep bringing up things we'd like to see on an application at every meeting and changing the measuring stick for it. Let's get those on paper. Just so the rest of council is aware, I did have a meeting with Ms. Holman and Mr. Giacomo where I said, because it hasn't been done to this point and all we've been doing is kicking the can down the road, I will take it upon myself with my staff to try to come up with a starting point for you all to consider if you want to change the program, whether that's a tiered system, whether Airbnbs are included in there, or rentals are included, short-term, long-term, valuation of homes. I said I would take that on because I would like you guys to put it to bed, to be honest with you. We've been talking about it for way too long. The measuring stick keeps moving and moving and moving. New suggestions come up, so I will provide you with a starting point, and then council can take it from there.
And Mr. Timonier, will they go to the Economic Development, Community Development Committee first, or how do you?
I would imagine that's where it would start for the conversation.
I would just say, Mr. Timonier, it does come up all the time, and we have consistently, and since I've been here, we have consistently approved these tax abatements. The majority of the council sees the value in them, and I think the majority of the council, and I'm not speaking for them, I can only go by what the vote is. For example, tonight, 6-1, and I think it's been consistently 6-1 for many times that we have done this. So, and for my opinion, I don't think the program needs to be changed. I don't think it needs to be modified. I think it's serving its purpose. It's promoting development. If a person is fortunate enough to build an expensive house, I don't know what to say. God bless him, I guess, or good for him, or thank you for investing that much money in the city of Ashtabula. And if a person builds a less expensive house and they want a tax abatement, I would say thank you, and God bless you, and thank you for investing in the city of Ashtabula. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not interested in seeing any changes to our tax abatement policy. We know that the state would allow us to do this for 15 years if we were so inclined. But like I said, that Harbor High School site, 3 more houses are going up down there right now. There are houses going up in the city, and we're fortunate to have houses gonna be going up on Station Avenue and West. So I'm happy with it. If you wanna, I guess all I'm saying is you don't need to make any changes for me.
Mr. President, I just wanted to piggyback that maybe we should take at some point, like a preliminary, I hate to have the city manager's office put a lot of time and effort into something that is gonna, I'm also a believer in the abatements. I mean, I don't want you guys to spend, 50 man-hours over there to find out that we're not doing it.
So, Mr. President, I would only say that there are some things, as you're aware, I have brought less than 100% abatements to council before for different situations. I think some situations are worth discussion. I expressed my feelings to Mr. Giacomo and Mrs. Holman during our meeting. But we keep hearing this time after time after time. People in the community are hearing this time after time after time. I think you either will put something in front of you, vote on it, don't vote on it, but then at least we can move on.
Okay. If you want to, like I said, in my opinion, we have voted on that. Every week we vote on a tax abatement, we vote on that. And it's been a consistent approval. And so that's my opinion on it.
Well, and I also think there are some things that we should discuss along this process too, we say people aren't paying their fair share, but we're getting income tax from people now. They're paying their sewer bills, which we have plenty of capacity. They're paying they're a new customer on the garbage bill, which we're riding by anyways. So there's some things that I think we all need to understand, that this isn't just a freebie, somebody moving in. There are benefits to the city. And again, once the tax abatement is up in 7 years, you have the value of that home and the taxes are flowing at the 100%. So.
And I will add, like at the Harbor High School property, they built those new houses. The house, 3 houses to the west, they added a whole second floor. So they put a bunch of money into that house and upgrading it. The second house to the west has recently been sold and is currently being added, improved upon, and so that spreads. And I think we'll see that all over town, hopefully on Station Avenue.
And that's one of the, that's one of the reasons.
New houses,
That's one of the reasons some of those areas were picked for these new home developments. We've done a lot of work on the Station Avenue area. I think Station Avenue still has the stigma of what it used to be.
Right.
St. John's is gone, Brad's is gone. I can't tell you how many homes that we've taken down within that whole section from Depot Road all the way to Route 20. We've cleaned up a lot there. Our code enforcement spends a ton of time in those neighborhoods. Now that people see investment going in there, our hope is that other properties start to clean up and do things, as we've seen in other areas where new construction has come along.
Thank you, Mr. Timonet. Anything else for council on the legislation? We have no administrative approval to committees or anything to assign the votes to. Does anyone have anything for tell us something we don't know?
I do.
Mr. Manager? Oh,
Yes.
Do you want to talk to the manager?
oh, Mr. President.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Kim.
Okay, I just have one thing. The Lakeside Society for the Performing Arts is having a free concert on April 28th at Lakeside Junior High School. It's the Seraph Brass. It's at 7 o'clock, and this is a free concert, but they asked for a donation. So if you're not doing anything, go out and see these beautiful ladies perform.
What day is that? Kim?
Tuesday, April 28th at 7 o'clock.
Thank you. Mrs. Mills, did you have something to share with us?
Yes, I got a few calls about sidewalks, so I thought I would remind folks that we do have the sidewalk reimbursement program. And Mr. Manager, is there still funds for this year for sidewalks?
Yes, so those funds are on a first-come, first-served basis. Every year, we typically go through about $20,000 of reimbursement. It
Okay.
pays a portion of the concrete costs that you're going to incur from doing the sidewalks. So when the contractor does the sidewalks, we need the bill to be separated out for material and for labor. They need to be differentiated. If somebody wants to participate in the program, they need to call Planning and Community Development. We will send one of our staff out there to measure the sidewalks and tell you how much we would be reimbursing under the program. And then they're free to go ahead with the program.
And it's a nice program. I mean, I've done it, and then they'll give you have to have it complete by a certain date. And then if you know neighbors or somebody who wants to do their sidewalks, because of course, when you come out, if you get someone to come out and pour, you get a better deal if somebody's doing a driveway and some sidewalks and some, you know what I mean, when they're just doing one pour. So we've had folks that do that too, kind of share the wealth while you're doing it. And it looks nice, because I know there's a lot of sidewalks you're walking around and they're bad, but it is the responsibility of the homeowner. But the program is nice and it does work. I did mention this at the last meeting, but somebody had sent me a message to just reiterate it again. The library's having a volunteer fair, so it's this Friday, the 24th, from 11 to 1. So it's opportunities to enrich your life by serving at either a food pantry, library, school, art center, history museum, hospital. So they'll give you information if you have some time and you want to volunteer Friday, 11 to 1 at our library. And anybody who volunteers, I so appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. President?
Yes.
On that sidewalk thing, do we have to approve? Obviously, some sidewalks are in worse repair than others. I mean,
It's first come, first serve, and if a homeowner is replacing their sidewalks and they would like to be part of the program, it doesn't matter the condition.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
With the sidewalk manager, I do a lot of walking in the city, and I can't walk on the sidewalks that are not in front of people's houses because it's got a big hump in them. So how do I, after walking the street, I'm not too crazy about walking in the street.
Yeah, so a lot of people think it's the city's rule that the sidewalk has to be maintained by the property owner. It's actually an Ohio Revised Code. So all those sidewalks, it's the property owner's responsibility to keep them in good condition.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Okay,
Mr. President?
About the roots.
yes.
I asked a question about the roots and the tree line. last time.
Does anyone else have anything for tell us something we don't know?
I do, but I'll do the tell us something we don't know. On this Saturday, April 25th, Kiwanis is cleaning up Griswold at 9 o'clock. It goes, I think, from 9 to 12, and then there's lunch afterwards at, oh my God.
MFG doing it again?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
MFG, I had a minute there. MFG, and so if you're interested, show up. Your help is needed. And then May 9th is our city cleanup. If you're interested in that, we'll be meeting here at 8:30. We kind of would like to know who's coming ahead of time, just so we can assign different routes out. But lots of city cleanups going on.
Thank you, Mrs. DiGiacomo. Anything else?
Mr. President?
Yes.
Because we are getting into yard cleanup season, and we've been receiving a ton of bags down at Public Works. Just a reminder about the Public Works facility. If you decide to not, we would prefer you to use the curbside pickup that we're doing right now, it's every other week, depending on the area that you're in, and that schedule is on the city's website. But if you do bring bags down to the Public Works, please remember, they must be in those biodegradable bags. Sticks and branches should be bundled no more than 3 foot long and no more than 20 pounds. No metals, no food items, no garbage. We've had a bunch of stuff dropped there, and no contractors. This is for city residents only, and for the people that are cleaning up their own yards. It's not for contractor disposal or for people outside of the area. We have installed cameras in the front of the building, so we will be monitoring this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just along those lines, you know, we're all frustrated when there's a property in our neighborhood that's not maintained. It piles up with junk and garbage and so forth. But this is also grass cutting season, so make sure you're out there cutting your grass. It has to be, how many inches?
No more than 8 inches.
No more than 8 inches high, so make sure you're out there cutting your grass. That's good for your neighborhood. I've done mine 4 times already, so get out there and cut the grass.
Please don't blow the grass into the road.
Yeah, and don't blow it in the road. Yeah, I see that too much.
We
Yeah,
actually have
that's-
a social media post scheduled for tomorrow about grass cutting, so.
Okay, oh, good, okay. All right, and so that was good. And anything else for tell us something we don't know? And like I would say this time of year, you know, Ashtabula is a great place all year long, but in the summer, we shine. So get out and support the businesses, enjoy the town, and enjoy the area. So anything else? All right, seeing nothing at this time, our next meeting is Monday, May the 4th. That's May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Isn't that a Star Wars? Today is 4/20, which we know. So we're having all of our meetings on these kind of crazy days. Yeah, oh yeah, that too. All right. Well, everyone, have a good couple of weeks. Thank you.